Healing, self-care,
mental health,
Black, joy,
women.
real Black girl shit. To be whole is to be healed. Black girl joy, healing journey. Black woman be whole.
Welcome back, y'all, to the Black Woman Be Whole podcast. We are your hosts, Marquia, Kim, and Ednesha. And as always, working on being home. We are in season 4. Episode is this 3? I think
It
it's 3.
is. It's 3, y'all. Hey.
Awesome. So as always, thanks for your grace and understanding as things get delayed. Life has been very hectic, at least on my end. But it's okay though. Like with, new levels, new devils, lots of busyness with work, lots of cool events. Maybe one day I'll go more into detail about that. But as always, thank you all for being here. So today's episode is going to be called Can I Get a Window Seat? Don't want nobody next to me. And we're
Hey,
talking about
COVID.
travel, we're talking about travel. Lately I've been, really taking the opportunity to take advantage of the remote work. And I know that this season we're talking about connecting versus reconnecting and possibly in this situation disconnecting and really just seeing how travel can really aid in that for you. So I definitely want to explore that theme. I know we have an upcoming happy hour in June. Can't believe we're already at June, but
June 20th, girl. Third Thursday of the month, 7 p.m.
now is this going to be virtual? No more
Absolutely.
in persons this year? Are we doing any outside this
Stay
events?
tuned for that.
Okay.
When we talk about life is life, and I've got some work travel for the, last part of June. I'm traveling twice in June,
Wow,
traveling in July.
that's a
I'll
lot
tell you
happening.
about some travel towards the end of the year because, ooh, wee.
Awesome. Well, before we, of course, get fully into our topic today, we changed it from, what are you working on? So I guess, what have you learned about yourself this week? What have you learned, Kim?
I have learned that I think I have an aesthetic. So I'm renovating the apartment and I'm exploring colors, all sorts of things, just like kind of like, okay, you got a little bit of style, which you can think some things through. So I realized like I do have a, an aesthetic, like I like modern, I like clean lines. So just really trying to modernize the apartment. It's an old New York building, and so just trying to make my oasis, but I definitely have an aesthetic. So go
Okay.
me, go me.
That's cute. Okay, aesthetic. I think I guess we're talking about travel. What I learned about myself is my interest in how Black people live all over the world. But right now, the United States. And so I think that I didn't realize how interested in that I was. Wherever I do go, whatever state I visit, I'm always thinking about how did Black people get here? Why did we migrate here? Who came here first and brought the rest of the crew? And what is it like to live here? And so, since we're talking about travel, I'll talk a bit more about my travel recently that kind of led me to this. But yeah, I think I learned that about myself that I'm very curious about Black people and how we live around the US. And so I didn't realize that that's was part of the motivation for all of my travel because I realized I'm always trying to figure out like, is there like an African American history museum? Like, what is there about the African American culture or experience that I can learn when I'm in a new place? So I'm really kind of excited about that because that's going to kind of push the rest of my travel to all the 50 states. It's going to be really about how do Black people live in each state that I go to. So I'm excited.
Awesome. For me, definitely this week is very trying with some work stuff, but also just realizing like I'm really fucking good at what I do. And I rarely say that. And I'm
Okay, you
super
better
tired.
brag, girl. Brag on yourself.
I'm super tired and had like 10 hours of sleep probably over the last 3 days. But there is something to seeing the work that you do it come out in such a way that people are having great experience. This particular event was a corporate meeting, and just seeing people actually build connections and have positive experiences and really walk away feeling energized and excited about like a work event is a really good experience. I mean, the planning part was a little, it was there, But the experience in real time and just seeing people have a good time is always rewarding. And it reminds me, like, I enjoy doing this, but we got to hit the lotto or something because I don't know if I could do it forever. It's stressful. But definitely one of the main things I learned about myself. And before we get into our topic fully, what is one thing that you are anticipating as summer draws near? Like I was gonna say excited, but everybody doesn't necessarily love summer. People don't always love hot weather, so I didn't want to assume. But what is one thing as summer draws near that you are anticipating to occur, good, bad, or indifferent?
I think I'm anticipating seeing people more. I'm really excited to see my friends, see my acquaintances, to see people that like I care about. But in the day to day of life, you just don't get a chance to see them. But I think in the summertime, I'm like, oh, you want to go on a picnic? You want to go do this brunch? You know, just kind of outdoorsy things. I'm really interested and excited and anticipating seeing more of people throughout the summer.
That's
Kim, what about
cute.
you?
Yeah.
Um, I'm anticipating, I think just doing more things that the city offers. New York City does so much in the summer. And I always say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm always sending things around to people, and I never end up doing them because work, travel, life. So I am anticipating, taking my Fridays off from June to, September and really getting out and doing things that that I can enjoy, right? Like just being outside. I think a lot of times people do happy hours or they do this, they do that. Like I just want to go and do some fun things, so go try some new adventures and see what's what. I've got a list. Let's see how much I can get through. What about you, Marquia?
Nice.
I really want to make it a point to go to the beach more this summer, go to lakes, go to bodies of water more. I realized last summer I did not do that, and it's something that I really enjoy. But making sure that I do actually lean into like the reduced hours in summer and like again, leaning into the fact that I work remotely and like I can work from anywhere and just really try to take in as much as possible, I think is going to be how I try to curate this summer. But again, it also got here very fast. So we'll see if that happens the way I think it's going to.
You said I wasn't ready.
No, literally, like I don't know how tomorrow is June 1st, but it is nuts. Yes, we pre-record, y'all. Y'all know this. But yeah, so today's subject is, like I said, we're going to talk about travel and how we use it as a way to deal with life. So, what was it? Last November, I went to Jamaica, had a great, great time. Took it upon myself after that trip to book a 2 week trip to live in Jamaica in March. I just recently went back for an additional 10 days, and I've really just been enjoying these opportunities to work remotely in places that are not my quote unquote home. I also understand that I'm very privileged. So, I mean, but if you are working remotely and you can, I suggest trying this out. But in doing so, I've learned so much more about myself, whether it be like the way I like to live, the types of places I want to be around, the type of people I enjoy, things I deem important when I'm away, like who am I talking to? What am I focused on? Those things are vastly different from when I'm home and when I'm away. Like away, my screen time is down significantly. Home, I'm so bored and tired and overwhelmed that my screen time is super high. So just like like connecting with different parts of myself, like my connection with my grandmother, kind of just seeing like, oh, like, how I was brought up and, assessing why I do certain things or why I'm, averse to certain things. And just the way that I'm able to think more clearly when I'm not home. So I think there's something to just being able to take that moment to slow down and breathe and get whatever clarity it is that you may need, whether it's like, damn, I think the people I live with are annoying, whether it be, wow, I really think I do want to quit my job, whether it be, actually, I really do like my life and I can't wait to go home. There's just something special to, taking those moments for yourself. And I know the two of you are really big into travel and enjoy it. So I thought this was a great opportunity to kind of talk more about how travel speaks to and for you in your lives and, how you use it as a way to fill your cups.
I
So,
love that. Let's get into that travel talk. Yes.
okay. Great. So first question, and we're gonna do it. We're a little freestyling today. Again, I told y'all life was life in at home, and I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. So just off the road, but we're gonna have a good discussion. So let me ask you this. What was the first place that you went to that you had like an aha moment, like, yo, I love this travel shit? Because for some people, travel is anxiety inducing. And it's like, oh my God, I have to pack a bag. I have to do a thing. I have to book the things. Like, when was the first trip you went and you were like, I want to do more of this?
Mm. So I traveled to Italy when I was in my early 20s. And I think for me, that was like my first international trip and like my
Hmm.
first solo adult trip, like without family or my mother or someone, because,
Right.
my mother, like I said, I got my love of travel from my mother because we would do road trips every summer and go somewhere. But I think it was really weird, and it was a very odd thing, and it had to do with somebody, saying good morning to me. And the
Hmm.
word they said was giorno, like morning. They didn't say
Hmm.
buongiorno, they said giorno. And I was like, oh shit, that means good morning in English.
Oh,
They're
shit.
telling me morning in Italian. I know what that fucking means. This is wild. So I think it was like those little moments that I had, and just kind of like being in a different atmosphere. Like I said, I think sometimes, anti-blackness aside, where some of these places can, show up, it was a very different experience how I felt. And I understood why, Nina Simone had to go, to Europe, and, Josephine Baker and James Baldwin, because, your blackness is just so in your face all the time. You're like, damn, you can't just be human. And so
Right.
I think I felt like a person. Like I didn't feel like it was like, oh, this black bitch, So it was
Right.
a very interesting thing for me. And I think that's what kind of made me want to just travel to more places.
I like that a lot. What about you, Anisha?
Let me see. The first place that made me feel like, you know what, this is it. I think that I was probably in my early 20s, and I went somewhere like really simple, which was like Florida, I think. But I went to an amusement park, and I guess the amusement park felt so different from the amusement parks I would normally go to. And so then it was just like, ooh, I want to go to amusement parks all over the world. I think so. I think what becomes interesting to me is, again, growing up in New York, it feels like I have everything there, right? Like it always feels like people want to move where I live. And so I've lived there kind of all my life, back and forth, through college, I've moved. But I wanted to really figure out, like, what is it like to go to other places and see other things that I've never seen? So I think that that really is the thing that kind of pushes me. I like to have new experiences. I like to see things, new things. I like to hear new things. I like to meet new people. And so I think I just realized how easy it was too. I think that sometimes when I talk to people, they make travel seem very difficult and super expensive because they don't really know that it's really not. And so I think that once I figured out, like, oh, this is just really easy. Like I can jump on a plane and kind of go wherever I want, if I just plan right. And so I think from then on, I've just been jumping on planes and kind of going anywhere and everywhere I want if I just take the time to plan. So I think the ease of travel is what I appreciate so much. Is really actually not anxiety inducing for me. I mean, my itineraries be tight though, y'all. Like seriously, it's like wake up at 7, breakfast at 8, jump off a cliff at 9, 10, 11. Like so, I
Mm.
have to take a vacation from my vacations. So like, if you ain't about that life, you shouldn't go anywhere with me. And I think that's why I've me and my husband work pretty well, because that's who we both are at this moment, right? Like we just like we got 10 things on the itinerary. Ain't no sitting around chilling too much. So I think that's the beauty of it. I just like to see new things and meet new people. And I realize it's pretty easy to do.
What about you,
Awesome.
What about you?
Marquia?
I kind of alluded to it with Jamaica, but when I was used to go on work trips, I had to do a lot of solo travel because I'm traveling for work. But when I went to Atlanta for the first time, I remember thinking like, I love this here. Like there are black people here. As we all know, I live in upstate New York. There are black people here, but not a lot of us. And it just felt very much like home. There were things to do. The food was good. This was also like 100 years ago now. What is it, like 10 years ago now? But it was before Atlanta was as bad as it is now with traffic and, population and things like that. But it just felt very comfortable. And I was like, wow, like I never knew that where like I always felt like a little like weird living in upstate New York, but like going to someplace else, I was like, oh, there is a possibility that there is another place in this world that could actually feel like home and be a good fit. So yeah, I think that was like the first time I was like, oh, like I want to do more of this. And it made working in admissions that much more appealing, although like the schedules were super grueling and we had to do a lot throughout the day. It was just nice to also get to see the locals and go where they eat and experience all those things. And it's just, I really like to learn. I'm very much a nerd. So that is my favorite part of traveling in general, is just learning about what's happening in that area and like what do local people do and why do they think it's special? Because you can go see tourist shit, but in my opinion, that's not the real reason you should go someplace. You should learn why the people that live there love it, and maybe you'll love it too.
Yes. Connecting with people is important, right? Like,
Yes,
what the hell is you going there for? You
exactly. Like
know?
it's not a museum. Like I think
Right.
uh, that's another part we can get into another day. But I do think that it's weird when people go places and like are like, oh my God, like look at the look at how they dress. Like it's very strange. It's like this is their version of wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Like I don't know why we're so caught up in
Well,
staring
people
and
are super
talking
judgy.
and
Oh,
like
people are
taking pictures with
super
people.
judgy
Like
because
that,
they're
I hate
so
that.
different from them. I mean, I was at the Grand Canyon and there were some Asian people who you'd have thought they never saw a black person. But I
Right.
hear that often at a lot of times that people from China sometimes they've really never seen a black person. And
Mm-hmm.
so like I was like, okay, y'all could take like one picture. And then it was two. And then they all crowded around me like I was Beyonce, y'all. Like, and then it got a little weird and scary. And I was like, okay, time out, flag on the play, I'm done. Like I was okay at first because I was being understanding that, like, maybe you really haven't seen a black person, right? Like, so that's okay. But now my personal space is being invaded and this shit is just really uncomfortable. And it felt like an animal in a zoo, like just
Yeah.
people just staring at me and shit. And I was like, okay, I can't do this no more. I gave y'all, y'all a moment and y'all just took advantage of me. Word up. We're done. We're done.
It just gets weird. Like I remember in Jamaica, at, like the breakfast restaurant, this woman was like, "Let me take a picture with all of you," like to the employees, and I was like, "Why are you taking pictures with niggas that are giving you breakfast?" Like I'm so confused. Like what? Like I was so confused, and like the people that were taking the picture, I was like, "If you don't get your black ass out that picture, like what are you doing? Like you are not. This is this is not a petting zoo. No." Mm-mm.
There's a particular kind of tourist, and you got to figure out which one you are, because
Right. And that's a perfect segue actually, because I was going to say, like, Anisha mentioned that she likes a packed itinerary, but like what type of like traveler are you? And like does the style of trip impact what you get out of it, right? So like if you feel like you don't have a full itinerary, for Anisha's example, do you feel like that was not an effective use of your vacation? Like for me personally, these are things that I would like to do. This is the amount of time I have to do it. I will get to them, but I don't necessarily need a structured out day to enjoy my experience. Because some days I might wake up and be like, you know what, fuck that. Actually, it's looking like beach and it's looking like that's enough for me today. And I need to eat. That's all, like eating is always on the schedule. But other than that, I don't necessarily need a tied to plan. So what version or what look of a trip feels fulfilling or refreshing to you? And what feels overwhelming? Like when are you like, actually hate when people do it this way?
Um, it's so funny. I'm on a trip right now, y'all. So I'm presently in Jamaica right now. Just came from a phone party with my 74-year-old mother who was twerking. So I think that I do need plans. So let me say this. There was a time in my life that I had pretty high anxiety. And so anxious Ednesha needed to do everything that was on the list because anxious Ednesha didn't know if she would ever make it back to a place again, right? So it became about like, what if I never come back? So I have to see the thing that like I've been looking at on the internet that I'm so interested in seeing or doing. But anxious Ednesha doesn't really exist anymore. I actually like the new Ednesha. And she's just like, oh, if we don't get it done, like it's okay. Like everything feels calmer and like it's okay if I don't do it. But I do think that there's some places that I don't want to return to. So I would rather do that thing because I've been thinking about it and I've been wanting to do it. And like I just came from like Little Rock, Arkansas last week, and I don't really want to go back to Little Rock, right? Like so, whatever the thing I was gonna do in Little Rock, which was see the historic site of the Little Rock Nine, the kids that integrated the high school, like I went there. I don't want to go back there and do that, right? So like I need to do it while I'm there. So I think that yes, I want to see all the things. I have an itinerary. I don't really want to rest. I'm not here to rest. I can rest when I go home. Yeah, nah. I'm not the sit around type of person. I just I can't do that. I get frustrated after a while. And so right now I'm on a trip. It's 17 of us. It's my mother, all her children, and her grandchildren and spouses. And we've sat in a resort probably 2.5 days. By tomorrow, we need to be on some excursions. We need to be at the club tomorrow night. Like we need to really be rocking and rolling. I think I did my like sit by the pool, get some sun, and now it's full-fledged plan. Yeah, I'm not interested in sitting around. I can do that at home. So yeah, I'm real strict about my schedule. So if you come anywhere with me, you better be ready. You
Be
better be
tired
on it.
as hell. Be tired.
Him already know. Like, what we doing? I'm not sitting in this hotel. But Kim be on the same, she be having the same vibe sometimes, so it works.
It depends. But for like a travel place I've never been before, I have a thing, right? I need to go do a cultural thing. So like I'll do like some museums. Like when I went to Amsterdam with my cousins, I was the eldest. I've never traveled with my cousins before. So I put this cool itinerary together. We went to the Van Gogh Museum because they had that, we caught the free Friday night museum night and it was dope. And they were like, oh, let's do some more stuff. So I found, the Modern Museum, which is very interesting to see, to learn about a culture through a cultural institution. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like to see because you're like, what the hell is going on here? Girl, they had naked people in one of the exhibits at the Modern Museum. I was like, what? Oh, it's naked people here. What are we doing? They had an exhibit about like climate change and like all these other things, things that they value. So I think you can learn a lot about a culture if you visit a cultural institution. So that's one of the things for me. I need a club. I need a night out to party. There's
Yes.
always got to be on my list. Like I need to see how people party. What we not going to do is deny me that because I need to know. What y'all listening to? Techno, EDM, old school hip hop. What y'all listening to? Disco. What's going on? So stuff like that. I think you learn about people, but you also it's a good experience. I think also I need a day by myself. I always tell people these are the things I want to do in a day by myself. If you want to join me, yes, but you're not going to tell me let's leave because if I want to be there all day, that's what I'm going to do. Like I like to find like really off the beaten track things to do. Like I've never heard of this before. Let me go check it out. So, I think, and then also food, right? Like really cool food places. So if it hits like there are various categories that like I like to check off because I can go out all night and then like listen, I need to sleep until like brunch or whatever. So y'all go off and do your morning shit because I'm not a morning person.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all could leave me on your morning excursions. I'm not getting up at 7 to do nothing. So, I have a cadence to how I like to like be in a space in a place. So I could definitely hit all there are various categories that I like to like check off. Like, okay, did you do a really cool food spot or this or that? Did you just, go check out a park? Just something that really speaks to like what are a lot of people, where do they go?
Right. No, I love that. In addition to that, right, when you do these trips, like when you come back, do you feel like you learn something new about yourself? Like, what usually is the motivating factor? Like for me, I'm like, I need to get away because I am overwhelmed. Some people just go on trips because they're like, oh, fuck it, why not? Right. But like, one, what motivates you to go wherever it is that you're going? And then two, like, what do you feel like you bring back with you once you return back home?
That's a really good question, actually. Let's say when I was in Morocco, I got really into this particular kind of music, and I bought like 12 CDs because I was like, I love this music. And then so I listened to the music, right? Like, and I just sort of
That
like
feels
then
like overkill. Wow,
right,
12.
but I loved it because I picked up all the ones that the guy told me to pick up. And then I was like, now we got to go to the Moroccan restaurant. Like, come on, y'all. Like, remember I made y'all come with me to the Moroccan restaurant for the harira soup so y'all could try the tagine and all the other stuff. Like, I usually try and find things that I can access when I get back.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of things, right? And if I've made friends there, I'll still keep in touch with them. So there's a piece there for me, like if I've connected with someone. But I think for me, just like, I've learned something, right? Like when I was in Europe, I was like, why the hell do we not have bathrooms where people could do this? Like you're thinking like, why can't we replicate stuff here to make our lives easier? Like I'm always trying to correlate like life where I've been to here. And sometimes it misses the mark because like, oh, the food, you know, with
Right.
all the chemicals and shit. But
Oof.
I joined a CSA after I went. I can't remember where I went, but I was like, oh my God, this food is amazing. Then I got back and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So I've been doing a CSA for a number of years as a result of travel and just thinking about food and healthy food. So there are things that I feel that I've integrated into my life, or that I, you know, can go to here because it reminds me of when I was somewhere else, right? And so
Mm.
I think I like to keep the memory of it. And I always buy like one article of something, whether it's a scarf or something to remember my travel by. I don't buy a bunch of shit and I don't buy a bunch of people shit. I don't do that anymore. It's like this is my piece. Like, oh my God, that helps me remember that I was somewhere.
Cool. I like that. Especially the integrating it back home when you return. And I feel you on the food part because oh God. Coming back to this food here in America, child.
Yo,
It's
B, you be having bubble guts. You like, what is that
just
smell? What the fuck? Is that
I can't.
hormones in the chicken? What
it's
the
definitely
fuck?
hormones in the chicken. It's
What's
definitely.
going on?
That is too funny. I no longer bring back gifts either. I think I travel too much. I think in like when I was traveling not as often, I would be like, oh, I'll bring back some tequila for this person or this for that person. But it starts to get too expensive and don't nobody bring shit back for me. So I'm like, what are you doing? So I no longer bring back things. I everywhere that I go now, I have a magnet on my refrigerator. Don't ask me. It's a thing. So like if you come to my house, and Kim will tell you, like there's magnets from everywhere that I go on the refrigerator. So the magnets are pretty cool. And I also want to have something for my tree. So for my Christmas tree, um, some type of something from where I went, I'll bring it back and put it on my Christmas tree. So that's kind of my thing now. But I think that the new experience is what I love. I think in that I don't know if I really learn anything about myself all the time from new experiences, but I try to do things that maybe I've never done. I try to see things that I've never seen. I think that I might be addicted to newness, the newness of things.
Chasing highs.
I chase the new, right? Yeah, I want to see something new, hear something new, talk to someone new. I'm not really good with the monotony of life that it can be for some people. And so I just make sure that my life is not that. Like I always need to be kind of moving and shaking in some type of way. And so I realize it just kind of works for me now. And I think that travel doesn't feel like a big deal anymore. It doesn't feel like a big thing anymore. It just feels like my life and what my life should be, which I think is really interesting. Like that's how I look at it now. Like this is what I should be doing with my time. It doesn't even feel like an option anymore. And so Kim is going to some work travel. And I was like, oh, I've never been to Kentucky. She's going to Kentucky. I was like, and you're staying in a cute hotel. I bought a flight. Like I'm out. I'm coming. I'm doing a bourbon tour. I'm
Yo,
there.
she called me. She was
Um,
like, I'm coming on Tuesday. I was like, all right, there'll be a key for you. I don't like shit.
And
Because
I'm not
that's
even
what
coming
they
to fuck
do.
with her. Right? I'm not even coming to fuck with her. Like she working. I respect that. I'm gonna work from the room. I'm gonna see clients and then I'm gonna go out and like explore. And so yeah, I don't even think about it anymore. And I'm so grateful for remote work again, like you talked about earlier, Marquia, because it allows me to actually work from anywhere in the world. And so I don't know if I'll this time that I have now, I don't know if I'll ever get this back. So I'm going to take full advantage of it. And so for the people out here who's listening, if you work remotely, take advantage. Like you don't know when that is going to change for you. And so I don't know when my little bubble is going to burst. But until it does, I'm out. I saw clients this morning and they were like, Ednesha, you look tanned. That's not your apartment. Nope. And so like some of them will ask me where I'm at, right? It depends on how long I've been seeing a client. I might tell them where I am. But like, yeah, they realize what's going on. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Ednesha. And I said, you shouldn't be sorry because your treatment and the consistency of your treatment is always going to be important to me and it's going to be the priority. So like, don't worry about whether or not I'm having a good time wherever I'm at. That's not important. What's important is that I'm going to always see my clients. I'm also going to turn up, but they don't know that part. But yes.
Um, do you prefer solo travel or group travel, and why? Me is solo. I don't find group trips to be relaxing. Although the last trip I did go to Jamaica and I had a part of it that was a group trip and it was really pleasant. And they stayed at a villa If y'all ever go to Jamaica and go to Negril, go to Idle a While Villas because they had private beach access. They had a personal chef. They had all of the things. And it was just very, very nice. But that was like a pleasant like experience. And maybe I would do another group trip. But for me, I'ma always go by myself because I just need the freedom to do what I want to do.
I don't enjoy solo travel because
Really? I'm surprised by that.
I've never really done solo travel. I don't think I'm a people person. I want to have experiences with people like, oh shit, we did that. I remember that shit. Who the hell am I laugh with it about some stuff?
Oh my God, the people that you meet on the trip. Girls,
Mm,
do you know how many people I've met on the road that I'm still friends
yeah,
with? Like my nigga Dijon
yeah.
in Minnesota, and now I got a place to visit in Minnesota. Reese is in Kentucky. Renala is in Jamaica. Like, girl, I'm so surprised by this.
No. Well, I mean, we've been on a group trip.
And like
I've never
I
told you. Oh, listen,
said,
the group trip will ruin some relationships. So I think that's why you gotta curate the people, right? Like I don't go on trips with everybody because the way I travel and the way I party is not everybody's speed or style because
That is true.
I'm a wild child. I like to have my good
She
time.
outside, baby,
And
I had
forever.
to pull her out the damn club in Vegas just a couple weeks ago. It's like 4 in the morning, which is
then me
7 in the morning,
and
New
Chanel went to
York
another
time.
club, like bump y'all, go to bed. We ready to party.
And I
So
was like, yo, your girl is on 10. But the great thing is about group trips, because you'll always find somebody else that's down for the get down. And
right.
so it works, right? Like, and I think when you talk about group trips, you don't have to have big groups. I think, you know what I mean? Like, you can either go big or you can go small. But what you also have to realize is that we don't have to do everything together. That's the key to a good group trip. When Kim and I went to Vegas with our girlfriends, we went off to this amazing restaurant, right? Belly dances. We had the best time, right? And they weren't interested, and it was okay. It was no hard feelings. It was like, all right, we'll kick it with y'all when we get back, right? Like everybody can do their own thing, but also I have never done a solo trip. And I think also like Kim, I'm too much of an introvert. So like I want to talk to
Extrovert.
somebody. Yeah, oh gosh. Sorry. Maybe that was the drinks earlier. But okay. So I'm too much of an extrovert and I need people around. And I don't mind talking to people I don't know, but it may not be that same feeling as someone you actually know. And so yeah, I definitely need people around. But I do want to do a solo trip because I want to have an eat, pray, love moment. I'm not gonna lie. I keep like it's stuck on me that I want to have this moment where
What's
I'm
the
writing in my
moment?
journal. I'm writing in my journal in the morning. I was thinking about Portugal because I can like see a beach but also a mountain while in the same country. And I don't know. It felt like I thought I was going to find a part of myself that I hadn't found yet. But I keep saying I'm going to do it. And my husband is like, I'm going to go with you and I'll just give you a long time because I don't want you to get kidnapped and die. I'm like, sir, I need you to bring it down just a little bit. He was like, I just won't come with you everywhere and you'll feel like you're alone. I promise. Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
think it
gonna
works
lie.
like that.
I don't solo travel because I'd be like, I need to get home. I need to get home.
It's really not that bad, guys. It's really not that
No,
bad.
but that's because you've done it, you know how and it feels
Yeah.
great, so and you prefer that, I
I watch
prefer
the
all out
TikToks. They be
party
like,
and
do this,
shit.
do that, do this.
You know.
Don't do this.
Listen, I went with two different sets of cousins. We did London with a particular sets of cousins and we did Amsterdam. And I thought and it was like one of the best times like I got to do something with my family, right? Like
Mhm.
and I got to spend time with my cousins and really be able to share something with them. And they're like, when we going back on the next trip, guys? So I got some built-in people that I know I can travel with.
Mhm.
So I think
I
for
like
me,
that.
it's more about like experiences with people.
Yeah, I like that part too. I always meet people. My husband is always like, yo, you just be talking to random people. And then we'll
It's
go
the
to
best
dinner with
part.
them. And he'd be like, yo. But it is a lot of fun. And I think the funny thing is that I met these beautiful two young women in Puerto Vallarta. And now, they come to our happy hours. And then Kim ended up meeting up with them in Houston. And then Kim and I met up with one of them, Tia, in Vegas, partied with her. So it was just like really cool because this started from someone that I met in Puerto Vallarta, right? And now like we're in another city hanging out and kicking it. So I think I love that part, the meeting people, right? And doing your best to kind of stay in touch, right? And it's not somebody you got to talk to all the time, but it would be nice if you went back to that city or something and you could, be able to have a drink or break some bread with them. So that's pretty cool.
Miss Solo Traveler, give us some good, because I'm sure we got some solo travelers in the
Some
the
tips.
listens. What's good? Tell me what's going on other than meeting the people, but like, why does that work for you or a preference for you?
I have had a lot of bad experiences with group trips and friendships and things of that nature. I am naturally overly accommodating. It's probably some childhood trauma being a firstborn child and just having to share everything and, seemingly be nice to everyone. And as you get older, that shit gets really old and really tired. So I was like, I want to do something for myself. That's how my first, solo trip when I went to Puerto Rico came about. Had a bad birthday party, broke up with some friends. And I was like, you know what? I did too much about focusing on others. So fuck all that. I'm going to focus on myself. And the first one, I mean, the thing is, I'm low key a little, I don't know, I want to say like I live on the edge or I'm dangerous. But if I just want to do something, I just like, I'm gonna just go do it. And sometimes it's not all the way thought out. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's just like, I want to do this. And I have sense enough to know not to go with a stranger. I have sense enough to not like, do anything that I wouldn't do at home, right? Because there's dangerous parts where you live. So if you don't do no crazy dangerous shit where you live at, don't, especially in somebody else's country, don't do that. Definitely, I would say like investigate the areas that you're looking at, see reviews. My first trip, I did stay at a hotel. The why was because in the event that my mother needed to get a hold of me, she had a group of people that could have said that they've seen me last and had eyes on me. So there was
That's
a
right. The
central
cameras.
location.
That's why I stay in hotels because the camera.
So
Somebody saw me going somewhere.
exactly. So like if I'm on the news, there is a trail. I was like, she would not necessarily love an Airbnb. I think she'd be really mad about that. So we didn't do that the first time. I also made sure that that hotel was on a main strip. And I ask a lot of questions, and I'm also super social when I'm traveling, especially like where I'm staying at, like with the staff to be like, hey, I plan to be back at this time and I'm doing this thing. What suggestions do you have? Or, hey, this person suggested I go here. Should I go there? So, for example, there's a place called La Placita. And apparently there's like a little part of where it's at where like it gets real dangerous, where like niggas be getting snatched up, there's drugs involved. And someone suggested I go to
I
one of
feel like
the
I've been there.
yeah, there's a part where it's good. There was shots when I was actually there. They're like, oh, they were shooting there last night, and I was just like, oh, see. So I went to and I asked three different people, and I said, oh, this list was given to me. Tell me what you think about these places. So the first person was like, yeah, here, lit. Second person was like, here, lit. Third place, the server was like, who the fuck told you to go there? No, don't go there. They were like, that's not safe. Don't do
I'm like,
that.
bitch, do you want to live? I
So I
said,
think,
do you want to live?
ask locals, have questions. Again, like you never know anyone. I mean, you don't even know people in your own family. People be lying, child. But
Hmm.
you can tell when somebody trying to G you. You can tell when somebody trying to really get you off your square. Of course, like I did like Viator when I was in Puerto Rico for like my excursions. Again, a paper trail, people with, things to lose if I was kidnapped. So that again was a suggestion. And again, social media is your friend. There are tons of Black travel groups out there that you can check out. People will talk about their experiences and where you should and shouldn't go. And also just like research, because even like let's say with Jamaica, they're like, oh, it's not safe, people are dying. Now where I go in Jamaica, I don't even think I've seen a news report of anybody being killed. So also take that with a grain. I believe the United States government is trying to recoup the travel monies for Florida and other states that have been racist, so they trying to scare us from going out the country. But do your research. And if you're like, oh, but it's dangerous in the states. So
Hello.
you might as well see something in the
You could
process.
absolutely get shot where you live, depending
you
on where you live.
you can get shot in the movie theater. Hello, mass shootings. Like Like America is actually pretty scary.
You could die
So,
crossing the street. We're not even talking about shooting. Just some regular
right.
shit. Like,
They still
damn.
got sundown towns. I was in the South last weekend. Listen, you can go down anywhere.
Right. So it's just, take those things into consideration. And I think that each trip that I've gone on, even if it's something quick where I hop in this car and I'm like, you know what, actually, I'm just gonna go to like Connecticut and stay here. There's something to just one, I guess it's taught me that I know what I need to do to refill my cup, right? Like I need to be still. I need this thing. This last week in a hotel was not enjoyable. I did not enjoy that travel. That was not fun. Way too much engagement with other people. But there is something to just having that moment, like I said, to sit still, to again take it all in, assess the differences from where you are and where you live and what's what and what parts make you happy, what makes miserable, and then just taking that opportunity to adjust and reset when you come back into real life. So I guess, two questions I have is what is your vision of the self-care that you get from it when it comes to traveling, and what suggestions do you have for people that are considering or have never traveled? I know Ednesha said like, it's always marketed as like, okay, you're gonna spend all that money. But if you think about going to Miami and going out the country, it's roughly less expensive to go out the country. And just, where should they start? What should they look for?
I think you have to think about where your interest lies, right? I think that's always going to be really important. You shouldn't go somewhere where you have really no interest in that place, right? Just because someone else said it was cool, but like, what do you like to do? So I think that for me, I always think about what do I like to do, or what do I want to see, or what are the type of people I want to be around, what type of weather I want to be in. So I think those type of things become really important. And I'm a researcher, I think, and you talked about that, Marquia. I think it has to be super important because you can stay too long in a place, right? Like I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to Kentucky, and somebody was like, "You don't even know in 3 days, Ednesha." Like you're playing yourself if you stay more than 3 days. So you have to do the research to understand that if I go to this place, I need a full week. If I go to this place, I only need this, so that you don't get bored and that you continue to kind of have a good time. So I think I always kind of do research. I'm a TripAdvisor girl. I ain't gonna front. I go straight to TripAdvisor because people will give you those good reviews. They're going to give you pictures. They're going to give you everything you need to make an informed decision about this place. So I think that becomes super important as well. Just a FYI, don't fly Spirit or Frontier.
Yeah, don't.
I'm gonna just
Mm-mm.
throw it out there. I
Listen, don't
understand
have them coming for
that we want to.
us. Cease and
I want
desist. You playing
you.
games.
You want to save some change, but you do have to still kind of be smart. You want to make sure your bags make it. You want to make sure you make it. You want to make sure they're not fighting on a plane. Like all of those things will impact
Girl,
your
they had
travel,
smoke
y'all.
on the plane. They had to land. I saw some on TikTok the other day. It was most recent.
On Spirit, they told them to put their life
Yes.
jackets on, and they was gonna have a water
Yes.
they were gonna be landing on a water landing. What? Huh? I ain't
Yes.
never heard that on JetBlue. I'm just saying, just putting it out there, or Delta. So I think that you got to go with the reputable company and learn how to pack a carry-on, y'all. Seriously, learn how to get a good carry-on bag, put enough stuff in there, and a nice book bag as your personal, and that's it. Because when it's time to roll, you don't need that big old bag. No, have your bag with you. I don't need to check anything. So I say work on that as well. I think that you just have to be curious. I think that's what this is all about, is like, how do you just be curious about things you have never seen, experiences you never had, things that you've seen online. That's the thing about social media, right? It's a beauty and a curse. But I remember Utah has these big 5 national parks. And I didn't know anything about that until I saw some video on YouTube. And after I saw the video, I have to go there. Like I have to see this thing for myself. And I did it. But I would have never, known anything about it if I didn't kind of see it on the internet. And so I think that like search through things. TikTok will show you everything that you need to see. Because everybody
Tickety
and their
tack,
mama going to
baby.
Bali
That
now.
tickety tack.
Everybody going to Bali now. And I ain't mad at them, right?
That's
Like, why
fine.
not? So, I think that just kind of, again, thinking about where your interest lies and what type of experiences that you want to have, and go do it. Go see the world. Why not?
Shit. Do it for them knees give out and that back get too bad. Mm.
And it's
Don't wait until you're 65 to do that shit. Seriously.
Well, I
um
forgot the question, girl. Ah,
Me too. Probably didn't even answer it.
How does travel serve as a form of self-care? And then what suggestions would you give to people that are considering? You did answer the question, Ednesha, by the way.
Okay, I gave
But
some tips. I gave
yes,
the
and
tips.
then the
There it
travel,
is.
tips. Yes.
self-care, and tips. Got it. Thank you kindly. Similar to Anisha, like when she talked about needing new things, I'm that kind of person too, in some regard. But I just think like for me, it's like there's another way of life out there. And sometimes I don't know what it is until I'm going somewhere and I'm experiencing a different way of life. I think really understanding that sometimes the way we live here or the way we are conditioned to live here, it's not always in our best interest or healthy. Like when I went to Spain, girl, that siesta was every fucking thing. I tell you, I was like a nap. Yes, thank you. Everything not being so rushed or hurried. It allows you to slow down a little bit. There's a lot to be said. I love New York. I, that shit is fast. And sometimes you just, constantly going, and it doesn't feel like you can, slow down just because everybody's going at that pace. Everything feels rushed. And so, I slow down a lot when I'm in other places. Like, I'm walking more. When I went to Paris, I walked, I came back like 15 pounds later because I walked everywhere. It was a walkable, space. I walked along the Seine and just all the, beautiful things and being outside. I think also, I like to be in like wide open, spacious kind of places. And so these buildings just kind of like everywhere, blotting out the skyline, really fucking suck. So, I like to be in wide open spaces, just, you can see the skyline, the sun, and just really, get outside. I think for me, that's really helpful and important. I'd like to get on, their mass transit if they've got some good mass transit, and a lot of people do. So I think, and not, seeing naked people eating ass like I do on the MTA train, like, ah, damn.
What just happened?
Not
Shit just
somebody,
went left.
I'm talking about the difference. You know, the
Oh
MTA
Lord.
New York subway system, they eating ass on the train, on the platform. I don't want to see that.
Oh Lord Jesus.
They doing freaky stuff, pulling out their wingdings. Like, I don't want to deal with this, but I have to because I live here. You
Kim has
know,
been on a red light district, and then she been seeing
listen,
ass eating on the
I
subway.
in New York City subway. Okay, I'm tired of it. Clean it up, somebody. Hochul, some Adams, clean the shit up.
Well, Hoko can't do that for you because she still think Black people don't know what computers are. So I don't know if that's the person that's
Oh Lord.
Crazy. But
Oh,
I think just like
Jesus.
really like clean places, like, oh my God, this is so clean. People taking care of things. Yeah, and it's just really like, damn, why can't we do that here? I'm constantly saying to myself about certain things, like, we need that here. This would be so much better if we had it here. So just really understanding that there's different ways of living and being is really helpful for me.
And then what tips do you have?
Tips, I would tell people, right? Like, carry change. Make sure you have your little cash because you never know.
You never know, child. That
You
is true.
never
Emergency,
know.
emergency.
Right. Get the singles to tip people. If you got to tip them, really think about the people and their lifestyle and how they're living. If you go to
That
certain places, if I go to like a Caribbean place, all inclusive, I bring $100 in singles, and then my booze and besties like, yes, bring me that top shelf shit, not that cheap shit. Thank you.
Word up.
Um, but also, get your little toiletries and your little everything. Just get your charger, that you can bring. There's so many things. Just bring all of those little things and keep them somewhere because you
Some
never know.
Benadryl,
Yeah.
some Tums,
Get your
all the
stuff.
things.
Get your stuff.
get Benadryl for sure.
Right.
That is a thing.
And
I
then
got
I
stung
heard,
by a bee last trip. So
yeah,
seriously,
shit.
yeah.
And then I heard this thing that said, just in case your luggage gets lost, pack like something else that you want to wear in your book bag or your bag
That's
that you're
right.
carrying with
Always
you
have an outfit
because you
ready.
never know
You
what
never
could
got
happen. You could lose your luggage and now you stuck for a little bit and, that kind of thing. So this is, way to carry all your little things you like. Like, okay, for my shampoo, I got to put in a little 3-ounce bottle because I can't bring the big shit because I'm not checking it. So
Because
just
they're
really
going to
think
take it
about what
from
do you
your ass.
need and what you don't need. You need like one pair of shoes, maybe two pair of sneakers if you're gonna do a lot of walking. Just really think and edit. Edit what you're gonna bring. Pack your shit and then cut it in half or a third of it because you really won't use all of it.
Hmm. I agree, but also I'm pro check bag. I'm pro bring all the things. I
Oh.
will say when it comes though to like if you're gonna do that, like for Jamaica, it made sense for me to fly Southwest because you get 2 free bags. So you can bring a total of 4 bags for however long you're going. So I know people feel whatever they feel about, oh, it's not assigned seating. Just pay the extra $15, get the early check-in, girl. You're gonna be one of the first people on the plane. You're gonna get the seat you want. It's fine. As far as travel bags, I have an away travel carry-on and I have a Bays, Beis. I don't know how to say it. I'm not getting paid from these people, so I'm not really worried about it. I would say that I like the Bays travel bag better than away. Both are good and durable. Get something with a hard shell because if it's raining and you got a cloth duffel bag, you're gonna be very mad. I know this
And
from
they be throwing y'all
experience.
shit around. Like they
Yes.
don't care
Yeah.
about your bag. Like let's be clear.
Drawers be all out like what happened?
Right.
What?
So definitely that. Do not fly through BWI for a connecting international flight because them niggas is
Oh,
rude. Them niggas is rude as fuck.
get
Um,
TSA pre.
yes.
Okay.
But also like fun fact, flying through BWI, if you have duty-free alcohol, they make you recheck it if you have a connecting flight. So they make you put it in your check luggage or put it in a checked bag because you cannot carry it to your next location on the plane.
Well, damn.
Yes. And the lady was very nasty and very rude and was on some like, I hope your bag doesn't burst open. And the way I want to be like, and I hope I don't beat your ass today, ma'am. But I don't
Hey,
want to be on the no-fly list. So
that part.
we
Never,
made it through.
never ever make it. You're so mad
we
at yourself.
we made it through, but don't fly through BWI for a connecting. Now I don't know how about y'all niggas that live there. Maybe you could tell me something different, but as a nigga that don't do it.
I would
Um,
also like to add, get there early as possible. Don't be doing that
okay, don't be
last
that
minute shit.
girl. Don't listen to that lady that told you you don't need to be at no airport early. It's all fun and games until your ass is stranded. So, and now you in the airport arguing with the gate agent talking about I'll burn all this shit down. I gotta get home. No.
My
Mm-mm.
mother, my mother, my sister, and my two nieces missed their flight to Jamaica yesterday. Okay, because they got the hour before. I said, and it's international, y'all. Like an hour? Actually, they got there at 59 minutes, and the lady was like, "Up, it's 2 minutes over. I'm not gonna be able to check the bag. You're done."
Ooh,
I was like, "Oh," and she was
damn.
like, the lady was too happy, and she was like, "Oh, now you're gonna have to pay cancellation, and it's gonna be $1,200 for each person."
Oh
And
my
my sister was
God.
like, "Let me see the supervisor. I'm not talking to you no more."
Oh my God.
It got situated, but they lost a whole day, right? And they've already paid for it. So, like, nah, it doesn't pay to not make it to the airport on time. Seriously. You just don't know what gate agent you're gonna get. You don't know what security person that you're gonna get. Like, just go ahead and make it there on time so you get on your flight.
And you can drink in the airport. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but you could drink there. Like it's okay. Like you can find something to do with your time, I promise. It's not that bad. Spend
And
some
running
money.
for a gate is not
Ooh,
fun. You will
ooh,
be out of breath and thinking that you're going to die trying to get there. And when they close them doors, they close them doors. They're not reopening them. I
no.
don't give a hut what happened. I don't care if it was a minute. You're done. And
And
that
which
ride back home ain't nothing like it. That shit feels horrible.
and to boot, as far as like the getting there early, because they do gate changes and things like that, you want to have a buffer to get from point A to point B because the plane is there. The gate agents are there. Nigga, if you ain't there, you asked
That's
out.
it. That's it.
Like, so don't play yourself like that. It's
Don't
it's
do it.
it's not cute.
Don't do it.
But we hope that this inspires you to do some type of travel, even if it's just like to a local beach or lake. Just something for
But
you.
not Lake Lanier. Don't
Yeah,
do
don't
it.
don't do
Don't do
that.
that. Don't do
Don't
that one. Don't do
yeah,
that
don't go
one.
there. Don't go when they open that
Lanier.
amusement park. Don't do none of that because that is given death. So don't do that. Don't do it to
Oh,
yourself. The ghost will get you, boo boo. I know y'all don't like to believe, but
not death.
whew, it is. Even like Gwendolyn from Family Matters, Naya Rivera, like she passed away in Lake Lanier. Like niggas just be swimming in that lake and Every time someone goes swimming in that hole, they be like, and then they died. Like, there's never a good outcome. So don't go to that lake. Don't even walk over there. Just leave that one alone. And again, do your research. Make sure that there are no mysterious happenings by where you're looking at. But take that time and see what you feel, right? Whether it's, you bring a book and you're reading it and you feel like that's what you need to do. If you're a person that journals, if you're a person that just likes to sit on the beach and drink, that's what I like to do. And just observe. Do whatever it is that you need for you. Take that time to disconnect from the world if needed, reconnect with yourself and get back to center, or just to change your fucking scenery, change the weather, boo. You could do that. So
People find love stories, all the things. So
absolutely, for sure, for
go get you
sure.
some boom boom while you
Oh
out
yeah.
here.
Also,
90 Day Fiance.
Yeah, I was about to say, watch out for the
I'm
90
done.
Day Fiancés because they are very, very real. And it's
I need to
very
learn how to
fascinating.
just have sex on the resort and leave. That's all I'm gonna
let
say.
it
I'm gonna leave
go.
it there.
Well, the thing is this, I will say, like, I've noticed from a lot of people, and I get it, like, the bar is in hell. We're back to the bear and the man thing. And
You looked it up.
well, there were too many things that were happening. Like, we know, like, what's going on with oh boy and his non-apology and just the fuckery that's coming out and the way that other men are like, well, you should have started the video first versus taking the money because clearly he didn't do it. Like, what? What are you saying? So American men are crazy. And I mean, probably men as a whole, but the bar is definitely in hell here. And when you're out of the country, they're at least taught to act like they have sense and treat you with respect and like open doors and engage in a more soft manner than they do here. So I see how people get got. I do see how people get got.
Yeah. They looking penub. Go get you some boom boom and go back home. That's it.
I'm on this resort right now and I'm seeing it all go down. So listen here, y'all.
Listen.
Have yourself a good time and just go home. You don't got to bring him back to the States with y'all. That's all I'm saying.
Him, her, them, how
right.
many, whoever.
Leave it right where it was at.
And you could also just go back and visit them. I mean, there is a 90-day the other way, girls and guys.
Yes.
So if you do want to just go where they live, that's a possibility too. Just, finesse it your way. Make sure you finesse it for yourself. But as always, thank y'all so much for listening. Ladies, thank you for engaging in the conversation. I feel like we did pretty good, all things considered.
Yes.
And we hope that you will follow us on social media at Black Women Be Whole. That's on Facebook. That's on Instagram. Kim, are you going to make the TikTok?
The what?
The TikTok for the company. You the TikTok girl.
But I don't do TikTok videos. I just watch them.
you said that will not be me. Okay. Well, maybe one day we'll have something
and
on the
I just send
y'all
TikTok messages. I don't do them.
So, we're gonna hire someone young to make TikToks for us, y'all.
Yeah.
It'll come. Not right now. Okay, there it is.
Head over to our website, Black Women Be Whole. If this is your first episode, we have a ton of other ones that you can listen to. You can catch us on all your favorite streaming platforms. Sign up for our newsletter. Keep an eye out for the virtual happy hours. And have a great day. Truly have a great day. Bye, y'all.
All right, y'all. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Black Women Be Whole podcast. If you want to keep up with what we're doing, you can find us on Instagram at Black Women Be Whole, on Facebook at Black Women Be Whole. You can even go to our website, blackwomenbewhole.com, where you can join our mailing list and you can find out what we're doing as far as events, where we'll be, if we're vending. You can also get a heads up on any information about upcoming podcasts and any product releases we're having. We appreciate you, sis. We'll see you next time.